We've been traveling for over 24 hours. We're now pulling off the road because we just can't go another minute safely. I just don't feel right being on this road in this traffic for this long. Welcome back to Finding Gina Marie. If you're new here, I'm Kevin.
And I'm Judy. If you've been following along with us, you'll know that we sold and donated nearly everything we own in order to be full-time travelers throughout the world. And our first stop was in Italy. So why, after only a month on the road, are we already back in the United States?
If you're new here, you may not have seen our playlist about Judy's story about being adopted and finding her birth family. We have a playlist below that you can check out.
That story is actually the genesis of our YouTube channel and where we get the name Finding Gina Marie. We had so much to do in getting out of San Francisco that one of the plans that we'd hoped to be able to do was to visit my birth mother before we headed out on this lifetime adventure.
Yeah, it was so crazy. We have a whole episode about that and how much chaos there was trying to get out of San Francisco.
I'd only met my mother in person right before COVID lockdown. And there's been a ton of family that Kevin still hasn't been able to meet because of the pandemic.
So originally, this trip that we took to Italy was going to be just a 4-week trip to try out digital nomad life and working remote. And then after all the changes and all the decisions and the things we've been talking about on this channel, we decided to use that same trip to actually just go to Italy and become digital nomads. And originally, we weren't going to use our return tickets because we thought we'd meet up with family before we left. That did not happen, so we ended up saying, well, we'll keep our return trip. And since your mom's near the LA area, we'll go ahead and get off in LA, not go back to San Francisco, and try to work out some family meetings.
So we've been here for nearly a week, and we've been introducing Kevin to the area and to my mom's haunts and to family.
Yeah, everyone's been so welcoming. It's like I've had this family forever.
Unfortunately, COVID struck a few family members who weren't able to join us, but it's still been a great time. And travel comes with all kinds of unexpected situations. So
especially with us, it always seems like something changes on our trips.
Right, so you really just have to be flexible. My mother is the perfect entertainment coordinator, and one of the first things that she set us up to do was to go to Wild Lights at the Living Desert Zoo and Gardens so that we could get a bit of Christmas spirit.
Although we're not typically fans of traditional zoos, this place has some great conservation efforts and preservation of natural habitats.
In fact, USA Today put Wild Lights on its top 10 list of best zoo lights for the 4th year in a row.
I didn't even know there was a contest for sparkler light shows.
Neither. In fact, it features over 1 million lights that pulse with matching music.
Some of them were almost seizure-inducing when we were walking through that tunnel. And one of the coolest features is the model train that apparently has been around for a long time. This isn't just up there for this light show.
There also was a fun carousel. It had a weight limit on it, so we just enjoyed it from the sidelines.
Yeah, you tried to get me on it. I was not going to try. Next, your mom booked us on a tour of the Sunnylands estate, which neither of us knew anything about.
It was built in 1966 as a winter home by Walter and Leonore Annenberg, philanthropists who also served as U.S. ambassadors.
The Annenbergs designated more than $3 billion in grants and gifts to their trust.
Walter Annenberg made his fortune through American Bandstand, TV Guide, 17 magazine.
Sunnylands is known as the Camp David of the West because the Annenbergs have hosted 8 presidents, dignitaries, celebrities, like Frank Sinatra, Bob Hope, Queen Elizabeth, Reagan, Barack Obama.
Sunnylands was home to Walter Annenberg's billion-dollar art collection, which included works by Monet, Renoir, Cezanne, Van Gogh, Picasso, Matisse, and many more. Upon his death, the collection was donated to the Metropolitan Museum of Art in New York City. Replicas are in the home today. There are more than 3,000 original letters from 11 presidents, from Dwight D. Eisenhower to Barack Obama and other dignitaries.
The Sunnylands estate is over 200 acres in total.
Some of the most famous golfers in the world played the private course at Sunnylands, including every president from Eisenhower to Obama.
Now, I'm not totally impressed with celebrities, but my takeaway from this visit to Sunnylands was that the Annenberg Foundation seems like an organization that's doing great work, and the Annenberg should be commended for creating it. So the next leg of our journey is actually a flight to Houston to visit more family. A lot of my family lives there, including 2 of our kids and my sisters, and there's just a bunch of people. And we had plans to meet up with some more people, but the U.S. is under a lot of snowstorms and bad weather, so they couldn't actually make it to Houston, and we'll do what we can to see who we can again.
This US detour is also giving us a chance to refine our kit.
Yeah.
We came in as a hot mess and we knew that we didn't have everything dialed in the way we needed it to. But really, I know that we're going to probably make changes after this, but I do feel that we have learned a lot in just this one short month. And so we've been sending things to our daughter to hold for us so that we can refine it.
And she keeps saying, what are you going to do with all this stuff? It's like, no, we're swapping stuff out. We're learning lessons. We're changing out gear. We're figuring out, oh, this backpack doesn't fit this. This doesn't fit that. We need some more tightening of some of our clothing and other things. It's a learning process that we'll keep doing as we get to different countries.
Right. In fact, it turned out that a couple of the wheels that I have on my Samsonite carry-on aren't going to be sustainable for this long full-time travel. So I bought a new suitcase. I'm curious if you have thoughts or ideas on what the best suitcase is for what we're doing. And it has to be a carry-on, and it has to fit on as many
international flights as possible, the smaller planes.
So I'm curious if you have any thoughts or recommendations.
So after we get done with Houston and enjoying our time with family, which is going to be very short, just 4 days, then we go on to Athens, Greece, we spent a whole month there in January. Then after Athens, Greece, we go to Lecce, Italy, which is on the eastern side of Italy in the Puglia area. And then we have a couple places we have picked out because of your great suggestions, and we're still trying to figure out which one comes first. But we'll work that out and we'll let you know.
I think one of the weird, unexpected things is how little time we have to research new places to go. Things that when we started this channel, we were primarily focused on Europe, but as our vision expanded, we are interested in exploring the globe. And so there's a lot of things we really don't know. And it's been tricky to kind of find time within, to find pockets of time to be able to research and figure out where we want to go before prices start going up and then it gets prohibitive to travel there.
Well, it's time consuming. And also these changes in our travel plans happen because of the wonderful people we've been bumping into on these flights that are talking about, oh, we just went to Cairo, we just went to this, and we just went to here. Oh, and you'd love this place. And it's amazing. We just get into, like the one place was our hotel shuttle. And we bumped into somebody. And, these wonderful gifts of, here's what you'd love. If you've loved this, you really love that. So any comments you have, let us know below. If you've traveled, we really appreciate it.
So if you want to follow along on our next adventure, please hit the like button and consider subscribing so you don't miss any episodes.
And if you need any more information, check us out on findingginamarie.com. And until next time.
Until next time.